Good morning. Just a quick conversation about sales because I had a few meetings last few days, and actually this conversation came up this morning at BNI as well. And I'm actually doing last 2 days prospecting and sales, and I always ask people how they're getting clients, and I'm really curious how they do their sales because it's helping me as well to open up to new ideas and see how else I can try, how else I can do prospecting. I have so many activities regarding prospecting and sales. It's probably eight, nine activities that I do during the week. And for example, today I had already networking. I'm just having a little bit of time now, but after that, I'm going to oil and gas exhibitions and talking to people and looking for conversations. And I heard and read a lot of things regarding how to build your company, how to have sales that you don't need to touch it. You will have a pipeline, and you will have stream of clients, and you don't need to sell ever again. Well, that is not true. I'm 19 years in business, and it never happened. And when I stopped to sell or when I stopped to be proactive, my business was stagnating. And yes, you can run the sales online, but it's the same thing. You can't stop. That means if you start to run online and you think you have your pipeline, you will need to invest to advertisement. You never stop to do marketing. The 1 second that you stop doing marketing and paying for advertisement, your pipeline will dry. And that's the same thing with face to face. People are so scared of sales. They don't like it. They hate it. They hate to be sell. And I know a lot of people, and honestly, I was the same when I started a business, and it is really big conversation. And I would like to make it a little bit easier for you, at least for this week, just to really take one sentence from this, what I'm talking about. Take something, take anything that you can implement, and really think about that. First of all, if you are not selling, if no one is selling, we will never be able to help each other with our products. It's the same thing when you have barter happening, ages ago, thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago, when people were trying to exchange horse for cow. It was always kind of sales because you were looking for cow because you probably needed milk, and other person needed horse because needed to go somewhere faster. It is the major thing is to understand we are all the time exchanging. The other thing that is on top of that, we are using money. We're using money for that. It's just, I guess, exchange item that is here between the barter, because it's not barter anymore. But when you think about sales, like, we are looking for something that has really big value for us and is always value exchange. That means if people are really looking for help, they're happy to pay. And when I'm looking for a nice dress, I'm happy to pay. If I'm going for wedding and I know I have wedding, I need my dress, I'm happy to pay because I know I need them. It doesn't matter what it is, but we should be able to tell people what we are selling. We should be able to find out, or our responsibility is to find out if people need us and if we are able to help with our product. Of course, if I'm trying to sell you insurance or something that you absolutely don't need, and I'm still telling you that you really need me, then maybe that's not the right sales technique. Maybe that's something that, yes, we don't need to like it. And why we would? I don't like when people don't listen to me. And I think all of you, you don't like when people don't listen to you, that you don't need it, you don't want it, you don't want to hear about that. But sometimes we can just open up and listen. And that's what we do with sales. I'm usually doing, or trying to remember, 7 C's with the sales. It's great to remember. The first thing is your character. First C is your character. That means people buy because of you. People buy because they like to spend time with you, they like your approach, they like your product, but it's about you. It's sometimes you can have 10 other products and it doesn't matter really. It's not about product, it's about character, it's about you. If you're not there for them, if you are not the right match, you can't really push someone to buy because there are always people you don't want to work with. That means remember that sales, the major thing when sales happen is always about those two people or companies or some kind of energy that you just feel that's right or you don't feel that's right. And you need to really be aware of that as a salesperson or business person that you do actually you're doing business and sales every day. You need to be aware of the character and you need to understand that okay, this person is probably not the best match, and maybe just don't even try. Another thing is when you have sales conversation, another C is certainty. That means the best thing is to really be certain that your product, your service, you are the right person for the other for potential client, and you are able certain you're certain that you can and you're able to help them. The most important thing is that people on the other side, like basically the potential client or prospect, they need to see certainty. They need to see that you're certain and you know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, that's the beginning of conversation that you need to fix before you even start to sell. Clarity, of course, you need to be very clear what you're selling. What is that about? You need to be clear what you are not doing and not selling as well, because sometimes people have their perception. That means you need to kind of clarify that perception and be sure when, for example, I'm selling coaching and trainings and sales trainings or leadership trainings or whatever it is for the company, I definitely say I'm not psychologist. I'm not doing therapy, even though I'm doing NLP and I can help you, and I can help with a few other things. But I really want people to understand that I'm not healing the traumas the way that, for example, psychologists can do, and I have different approach. I want to be sure people know about that, and your client or your prospect should know about that. What you are not doing, that means be clear about that. The fourth C is curiosity, and this is my favorite. This is most important. You need to be curious. If you are not curious what is going on in your client's world or potential client's world, if you really don't care, just don't even go to the sales. Just don't even try. You need to really care. You need to be curious about what they want, what they really want, and just go deeper than just, surface stuff like, hey, what do you want to achieve? I never ever stop at that question at the beginning, like, okay, what do you want? Okay, I want my first $1 million. Okay, but why you want it? Why is that important to you? What did you already done for that, or what do you plan to do, or what do you think you haven't done for to achieve your result? And just really have a lot of questions, but questions that maybe you can prepare before you go into the sales conversation. Just have a structure, just have some kind of idea of what you actually need to ask, and let the conversation flow. Be really curious. Because if you're not curious, that's not the right person and that's not your prospect. You shouldn't even be talking probably to that person. Fifth, see, think about content. That means think about the conversation you're having and what everything you're discussing to really understand what it is about. Because some people may search for something that you're not offering, and if you are not able to understand that between the lines, that can be a little bit issue and it can be not happy sales. So that means be able to think about content, about a deeper conversation, and think about what is important for the client, and give them value. Give them value in the conversation. That means if you are delivering or when you're talking about anything, just give value. Don't try to advise, don't try to solve the problem at the meeting. That's the most important one. Don't try to solve everything straight away, but really be yourself. Give them value. Give them the idea of what you do. What is everything included? What is there? What is the content of that kind of work you can do together? And when you go to 6 and 7 C's, that's more about, let's say, community is 6C, the way, let's say, just to keep or make them feel they belong. That means I'm not saying you need to create the community or Facebook group, or you need to have networking group, or you need to have group somewhere, or you need to meet up with people every week. It's not about that kind of community creation. It's more about having the community feeling around your brand. Like, for example, Nike was doing a lot of runs. That means they had some kind of small community, and they do always run night run. That was in Europe happening always every year. It was amazing, and they kind of get people together, with the brand. They all have t-shirts, Nike, everybody was branded, but it was that feeling that yes, we're going to do it together, and there were people were running together. That means any kind of feeling that you belong. You can send people flowers, you can call people, you can check on them how they feel. You can tell them about the support when you have prospect conversation or conversation with prospect. It's really nice to talk about like how they can meet, for example, your other clients, how you can support them on the journey, or what support they will get when they will buy the product or service. And you talk about things that will help them to feel like, yeah, they will take care of me. They will take care of me, and it is really great setup. I really love it because I feel they care and I belong somewhere. And the last is contrast, and contrast is more to understand how, or have that conversation, how your prospect will be without that help that you can offer, or how they will be without achieving what they want, and understand how they will be with achieving the goal. That means just to really analyze what is that contrast, what is that between, like what that will mean for them, how they will feel, how they will be, what will be changing for them in their life. And this is not any salesy, tricky conversation, guys. Just remember, this is just to understand as a salesperson, because you are a businessman, business person. If you have your business, you are salesperson. If you can't be salesperson, go get all trainings you can and become salesperson, because it is the major thing you have to do in your business. It is the most important thing. Doing prospecting, marketing, sales, all those activities are most important. If you are not proactive and you are not doing them, your business is not going to grow. And probably your business is not growing last year if you are not doing that. And if it's growing, maybe it's growing by, I don't know, $500 a month, or it's really tiny amount of money. That means it's not real progress. And let's be serious about that, because people think that they go to business, and you all know me, I'm really straightforward. People think they can go to do business because it's easier, because they don't need to wake up early morning, because they can, have their own hours and they can work maybe 2-3 days a week. And we all know that's bullshit. And it is. We all know when we are in business and we are real and we really want, I'm talking about real results. I'm not talking that we are in business and making $30,000 a year or $20,000 a year and have it as a hobby. That's hobby. If you talk about business and real results, and you want to make 100, 200, 300 or million or $2 million, or you want to really increase revenue in 10 years and you want to be billionaire, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be wake up 10 a.m. and work 2 hours a day. It's not going to be like that. Business is hard. Business is really heavy, and it's not for anyone who doesn't like to work. And that's why I always said, if you're in business, be sure you do what you love to do and really have fun with that, because we work so many hours, we work hard at the beginning. And yes, it will be an ease if you will have great team. It will start to be much better and easier. I have a team of 40 people in my agency back in Europe, and it was amazing. And I have actually part of my family working with me, and that was the best time of my life, because they did so much, they helped me so much. But again, if you will be doing that, you need to train them, you need to be a great leader. That means you will have to work on yourself all the time. The things are not just happening because we wish. That means don't wish for anything, just really do it, and go out there and do some prospecting and sales and have a fun. The most important thing is having a fun and bring the right intention into sales. And this is probably the most important point of today's video, because I need to run. Intention is the most important thing. Be yourself. Be loving, be giving, be yourself, be who you want to be, and show up like that. Show up like it's you. Don't pretend, don't push, don't try to be salesy, don't try to do more. Just do what you can, what feels right. And that's most important, and that's where magic will happen. Just do how much you want, and really give everything to the sales conversations and prospecting, and have fun. That's all. Have a lovely day and see you next time. I hope I wasn't really too rushed. Bye.